Hey guys, welcome to the latest edition of the Muir Reflection. John from the John Muir Show here, and in recent days there have been plenty of media appearances for former failed Georgia gubernatorial candidate Democrat Stacey Abrams, who of course is one of the names being floated as a possible running mate for the presumed 2020 Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden. So Abrams has been on all these different mainstream media outlets, and one of the things that she insists on talking about in each of these appearances is something that she's been talking about for at least a couple of years now, and that is our elections, our system of elections here in the United States. Stacey Abrams, keep in mind that she's the nut job who still claims that she is the governor of Georgia, that she won that race, even though she most certainly did not win that race, that she lost in terms of number of ballots by a substantial amount to the guy who's actually the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp. But nonetheless, Stacey Abrams, the sore loser she is, still going around claiming that she won and it was rigged against her and all this stuff. So ever since that election that Abrams legitimately lost, she's been traveling around railing on our system of elections in the United States. And now, in recent days, Abrams is claiming that President Trump and his allies, the reason that they do not want our federal elections to be conducted 100% by mail is because they're afraid that they will lose if that's the case. Yeah. Nice try, Miss Abrams, but we know that the reason that you and your friends, you and your fellow Democrats want this by-mail system of elections is because it opens the door for various acts of fraud. I mean, just to sample a few, we're talking about the possibility of ballots being mailed to individuals who are not truly legally allowed to vote in the United States. We're talking about the possibility of some of the requested ballots not arriving. We're talking about ballots possibly not being received by the clerk and counted, even though they were mailed out in a reasonable amount of time, a problem that we had in our April 7th election here in Wisconsin. We're talking about the possibility of ballot harvesting, where you could essentially have a Democrat Party activist going door to door and filling out the ballots of unsuspecting individuals in a way they might not truly want those ballots filled out. So the list goes on and on. You're talking about various means of fraud that could easily come into the equation if we have a system of strictly by-mail elections. But that is the reason that Stacey Abrams and her fellow Democrats want this system of by-mail elections, because they do not believe that they can win an election that is honestly 100% fair. They're afraid that they lost to Donald Trump fair and square in 2016. Heck, they lost to Donald Trump in 2016 when his opponent, the Democrat Hillary Clinton, was colluding with multiple foreign powers. They still lost to Donald Trump, so they're terrified that if there's a free and fair election this November 3rd, that Donald Trump's just gonna beat him again, as he should, because he's been a phenomenal president for you and your country for the past 3+ years. So for Stacey Abrams and her fellow Democrats who are calling for this by-mail system of federal elections, the only reason they're doing so, not because it's best for you and your country, no, because they believe it is best for them and their power. They believe that if you have this by-mail system of elections, that there are these elements of fraud that can be worked into the election. They believe it's going to be beneficial for them in the Democrat Party. That is why Stacey Abrams is going around all these media outlets talking about how we should have a by-mail system of elections in the United States, but we most certainly should not have a by-mail system of election in the United States. We should be doing everything we can to ensure that our elections are 100% free and fair in the United States, and that it truly is the eligible voters in the United States picking who it is that is going to represent them and their country. We should be looking for elections that are free and fair, and that would a lot more likely happen with the elections that we traditionally have, where people go to the polls on election day, than these by-mail elections that could so easily be rigged in various ways. So nice try, Stacey Abrams, but we're on to you. That's all the time that we have for today. The John Muir Show, each and every weekday, 8:40 a.m. on WTAQ, 9 a.m. on WSAU and WHBL. Till next time, I'm out.